Sound me freely.
Come on. Enough is enough, Commander. Glad it worked. Allowing for limiting conditions. But let me just say this. How can he be... But still. Oh? Commander, please let us lend a hand. If I had just, say, 10 more years, no, even 5, the only resolution then is to erase the self. To die. Huh? What for? I hardly need to state this, but the possibility of further landslides remains high. All right, we'll have to run. I judge it to be the best option right now. According to the official records, Oleg fell in battle many years ago. This is unsettling. Noah, what's wrong? No man's land. None of the colonies have laid claim to it, as of yet. You're not angry about the flame clock? I concur. Since Gray's not usually in the city, they would have to get him where they want him, then restrict his movements. We'd be lucky if that was all. No, those flowers are from the Urian Mountains. Perhaps I'm not explaining it right. But in any case, I think there's something rather elegant at the heart of it. That's what we're fighting for. Is this their fight or flight instinct? Does that qualify as a plan to you? A plan takes forethought and planning. What you did is post hoc rationalize your own... Guys, what do you think you're doing? Obviously, it's a serious anemone. Commander, does this mean that you know the identity of our opponent here? You want to leave an impression. We won't get anywhere complaining. Ready yourself, Uni. Huh? All right, I've got something. Rather than make speculation after speculation and do nothing, you want to set something in motion. They look like Nopon traders. If there were anything I could do to give you time. More accurately, not just similar. Also, I've done some thinking. No, she hasn't changed. It's a pitiful place. There has to be a reason we met. Indeed, their vitals seem to be fine. The power of hope. What possible purpose could all this serve? When food is scarce, one may till the soil and plant glitter radishes. If she'd left anything, it would have been camouflaged at the time. Now, however, you're effectively a part of Noah himself. It appears the fighting wasn't all that long ago. Okay, got it. He did offer us shelter. That creates an obligation. What? Yeah, and I can't make sense of it. The consul's attitude is one thing, but more importantly... Commander! Commander! So it's no use appealing to their sense of compassion, or hoping they'll treat us fairly. Is that it? Seems we won't be catching a break anytime soon. A Mobius as well. If that's all we need to do, this'll be incredibly simple. What gave you that idea? For whatever reason, this decrepit Veronis has come back online. Is that why she... I had my doubts, but I never thought you were so brazen as to do this openly. Uni? And going by your appearance, I'd say you're also a Kavesi soldier. And we will let you go. And you're any different? It's in the reserve area on the upper level. Yeah, that buffoon's going to regret making fools of us. Besides, when we cut through the flame clock, luck was on our side. Thinking, finally, another day down. With all we've seen of Mobius. You end up believing, well, they're going somewhere. Like I said before, the information is questionable. It's only something I heard in passing. I'll send it to you now. So perhaps their colony was freed by Ouroboros at some point in the past. Just leave it, Lance. You're wasting your time bothering with someone like him. Noah, about our next destination. Oh, really? I think we found the enemy force the commander mentioned. What song? Simply astounding! The console we fought back there. There are crucial parts missing. Perhaps someone was trying to repurpose them. We ought to find a cave if we circle along anti-clockwise. You had problems with Colony 30 in the past? Cut the crap! Come on. Ma'am! This was supposed to be how we take back our world. Commander Izzard. However, we'd suffer a significant time loss. All I said is that it would be more efficient, so she's learned how to open up a little. Good for her. Huh? If you're finished chatting, I'd like us to get moving. This is my personal opinion, but not at all. You were your usual self, Commander. Oh, sure. Anytime. So then, you're saying the gold rank's nothing but a sham? What's the point? Why share details like that? We're the same as everyone else. Why's that? I think she found value in that. What's your problem? I can only hazard a guess at what you'd want it to be. Right? No, obviously. We do nothing. As much as I'd like to experiment, you said we'd prove to be an asset. But why? Why did she show me that picture? But why? Why did she show me that picture? But it's located in the castle interior. Getting there will be no joke. Noah! Mio! What are you? I'd venture to call it a masterwork. That's half of it. On the contrary, Commander. We were just following your orders. I suppose that's true, yes. But still, alleviating feelings of guilt and of loss. That's how I understand it. No objections from me either. Then start by observing the vegetation. But is this all part of Ouroboros too? Not really what I expected. I wouldn't strain your brain too much. Please, explain. Do you mean like those things? Teach. I need to ask. Just who are you exactly? For all that, I'm not seeing any Agnian corpses or weapons. Let's hurry. All that digging will take some time. And Noah? Macta Wildwood, huh? What? We've committed no crimes. For starters, we don't even know Origin's general schematic. If you fight, the flame clock must fill up. Suppose you were to harvest a large pool of life in a short time. But there may be other machines like RoboBuddy. Now, hold on. We've seen one wish granted. If our intel's right, annihilation events occur frequently here. Real strength is different. Noah, these marks. M's only stepping back. It's ancient, so it must be a malfunction or something. Thank you. Get too close, and we may come under fire. Give a message to your masters, if you even have any. There does seem to be more to this story than we've seen so far. I see. So you're recycling the parts as you deem necessary. Commander, please. We don't need to go there. It would have to be kept cool at all times to keep the energy in check. Please, call us any time you need. You'd have to fight, too. It's definitely Ethel's module. But why would anyone want her? Huh? And I guarantee you it was not a dream. Our time is precious. If you insist on barring our way, easily 10 times the size of a castle. Kavesi troops. Mio, what kind of colony is this Omega? We don't wage many battles at sea, so... But what of the others? What of those who fall on the battlefield? Nobody knows. Where do they go? If we can bypass this unit, we should be able to beat them there. I'll allow it. I'm sorry, Senna. I don't think I see what you're after here. Sure. Thank you, everyone. Just like his did. Let's split up and search for the parts we need. Funnily enough, it's that supply drop we're after. But I don't see any external injuries, but no signs of waking up either. Hard to tell either way. Noah! 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 Thanks to all of you being there. He may yet prove hostile, though. And don't forget, we're smack dab in the middle of enemy territory. Does that mean... But still, even in its current state, the power it's releasing is more than enough. Hey, Noah. I'd really hoped it would turn out to be nothing. Taking pot shots now? Don't pull the potatoes themselves out. Yeah, that's right. Are you certain it's really that vital? I recognize the crescent moon crest. Kamaravi's piloting that thing. Out on the other side. What I wanted to say was, yeah. Water. Perhaps he's already worked it out. Decided we're not hostile. The foe we fought today. It wouldn't be much of a prison if they didn't perform that function. What? No, certainly not. What's going on? I want to have a chat with the soldiers too. There are a couple of things I'm curious to know. The survey branch has eyes and ears everywhere. We could always take a detour. Look, this way. Do we go, Noah? That Mobius! Oh. Getting back on topic, you're telling us you were attacked by your own colony. It's all so messy. That's the opposite of what you said before. Hey! Ansels? But their natural habitat should be the Urian Mountains. I won't! Don't do this, ma'am! Yes, that does make it hard to classify him as an ally. Some kind of deserter, perhaps? We have to take it back from them. We didn't do any direct damage to the castle itself. Doesn't look like it's after us, somehow. Right. We haven't been noticed yet. Let's get out of here, now. Lance? So the brass have pinpointed its location. So why give this to me? She could still use her powers. Huh? Right. Mine do that too. Even better, let's make a big sign saying, "We're idiots, please shoot us." Right now they've been ordered to stand by as a reserve force, far from the front lines. I couldn't tell you exactly when. Commander? It seems your grasp has exceeded your reach. I'd like to come along. Let go! That's what I'd like to know. Your class is the only one I can seem to pick, unfortunately. I can brief you on the next steps. If you really think about it, we human beings are the cause of all of it. When we first came here... Yes, we agree for once. If I hadn't been so careless, the commander wouldn't have to feel this way. Senna, breathe. Then if we're agreed, let's hurry and pick up those supplies. Think whatever you want. We all think that way. I doubt we can simply pretend none of this just happened. Once you've seen how we do things, I put down my weapon, look around at my companions, and feel relief. You're a survivor of that battle. You are as well. What I'm more worried about is what will happen to the tending of the fields. But under one condition. While those Phoroneses are busy fighting, we'll move in from behind. What about the dying part? They realized that no matter how good the defenses were, the downfall could still come from within. Anything you want to tell us, Kamaravi? Judging by the situation, your allies were likely forced apart and are now fighting alone. Riku, do you know much about Phoroneses? Presumably they approached under the guise of their fellow Agnian soldiers. But please, stay vigilant. We are reborn after we have died. We don't know the method, but it's logical to think he did something. Disappointed. It doesn't need human operators. You call that a plan? There's nothing to get. This thing was holding on to it. Care to explain? But earlier, I heard a Nopon merchant talking about something called a natural spa. We shouldn't relax just yet, though. They may gain enough momentum to pose a legitimate threat, is that it? Still, we've got a way to go. It must have been under the control of someone other than Valdi. Regardless, why would they do this? All we can possibly do is wonder what it's like. We have to keep this place safe. What? One of Colony 13's little specialties. You know, I think I kind of like it. So, what? The Consul doesn't even need to force Colony 11 to attack us? That's true. What if that's exactly what she wants you to think? It sure took us long enough. Again? Your guess is that the perpetrator of the Colony 4 attack was the same person who was responsible here, by being passed from Nimwe's hands to mine. Once there, we'll need to damage the autobalancer in the barrel's housing. Seems that was built quickly too. It's got both bulk and heft to it. There's someone I want you to meet. Someday. I suppose I can't deny that. I didn't. You're the only one who can tell them apart. Let's tackle both threads simultaneously. I wonder. I also see trace amounts of the black fog. No clue. These footprints. I think they're Turkin. Unless I'm mistaken. That seems to be it. Is that enough for you? Oh. This is why. It's just this Phoronis. I have a proposal as to our next route. Yeah, we heard that from Monica. Well, we'll get some closure from doing this too. It's true. It is my fault. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Quite. You're insane! Perhaps we can revisit that another time. We want you to come to the city with us. I don't really think it's your responsibility. If it still happens to work, we just might save this place. But you still consider it unthinkable to wield as a weapon? That sounded rather pointed. Wow. Hold on. We haven't even decided what we're going to make yet. This is just conjecture. Are we going through with this? The logic would dictate that nature is pushing you to become stronger. I'd like to investigate any large-scale combat engagements you may have experienced. So he's not even an individual. Honestly, it was really bothering me. Mio? Please stay back, Commander. We can take it. A real golden flame clock. At this rate, it's going to be up to us. Not even enough to push us together. After analyzing the data we got from Boliaris, I discovered a flaw in the Annihilator's construction. We had the entrance covered. There shouldn't have been any other way through. I've got something to take care of. Does that jog your memory? Later, meaning in the city. Drop it, Uni. Look at this. Why, sir? Oh, what? So it would seem. I realized there was no ill will. Unlike some of you daydreamers, yes. And now Kamaravi. Even so, that's not... Huh. I don't have much desire to find out. Huh. What's wrong? He seems mild-mannered enough at first glance. Using the fog to approach is clever, but risky. What if an annihilation event occurs? How has it escaped detection for all this time? Because time is of the... There's even chocolate sauce! Guessing a name for me, it isn't even a challenge. As always. If only I'd presented a less reckless plan. The strategist would never have... Cut the crap! What does it mean? He tried to kill us all and rob the soldiers of their remaining life. So logically, if we gain enough experience by fighting together, we will become able to use each other's classes. But why do such a thing? The other half of my reason. We'll be fine, Commander. You can count on us. Huh? So why did you open the cradle then? It's the same stuff he's been spouting from the start. What exactly are we doing here? Kill them now. Commander Izzard! Commander Izzard! You can tell it to me straight. I knew there were a few people whose hearts weren't really in the fight against Mobius. But I promise you, we aren't lying. Yes, no question. But wait. If they actually succeed at implementing this at scale, Agnian Autolevs, is it? I mean, still, we shouldn't rule out the possibility that they'll make trouble for you. And now we water them. However, that's only if you make it to your homecoming. But the ring isn't strong enough to take the barrel's weight or absorb the recoil. What could have driven them to this? Call it, Noah! Simply put, our foes were well versed in the art of war, though their methods were inelegant, to say the least. But how are you even planning on fighting a whole colony alone? Charging at them head-on? Then what was the point of telling me? Don't you have better things to do? But I'm not sure I understand why they're so openly bitter about it. We heard that there was someone who knew much about spars, but that he had passed away.
Noah, how can you betray us like this?
What? So then, it must have drawn Mobius's ire even more than now. If that's truly what you wish for, indeed. I want to be out of here as fast as possible, but haste can only spell trouble. Can't move! An interlink? Really need. We are told our life is born from the Queen, and to the Queen it returns. This is just... How long are you going to drag this out? Oh, enough of this already. Tell me this isn't exactly what you were hoping for. We don't even have any contingency measures, do we? What's a descendant? We could certainly do with someone of Juniper's caliber. If anything, we should be questioning all that we've thought to be true. Yes, Yes. Yes, we are. Have you calmed down now? Can we talk peacefully? Ha! Oh, I know. I haven't forgotten about that. I am not laddie, and I'm under no obligation whatsoever to listen to you. Let me run it past the others, Commander. Hey, don't just ignore me when I'm talking to you. We ought to talk to the logistics chief that our contact mentioned. They may know more about the assailants. Correct. We fight when we're confident. You and I think we're the same in that regard. There are still beautiful places like this in the world. I don't have a special move. Yeah, I did say that. It happens here too. Luckily, this area is pretty bountiful all in all, so we might not be too hard-pressed. Yeah, sure, whatever. Mobius? On a trip? Yes, but that's just Noah's way. Commander Issard! I have my hunches. Seems like a thankless endeavor to me. Remember, the people here aren't part of the flame clock system. That's why the autobalancer was added after construction, as an afterthought. Of course, we don't intend to hold you against your will or force you into anything. Arden sausage, huh? That sounds good. Fun? I only said there was a degree of risk. I think every soldier in Lambda probably feels the same. With the reason why we fight. With deciding our fate. What is that? But you must have had something in mind, to go to these lengths rigging the contraption. Most likely, it was built in a hurry. The movable barrel is affixed to this outer ring that you see here. Between us, we'll make it work for sure. How so? It's difficult to believe that Turkins would even nest in this area. Who are you calling a piece? You're right that being in Ouroboros comes with huge power, but it's full of danger too. Good, as time is of the essence. Just leave it to us, Commander. We'll give this our undivided attention. It's too much for me. That's just it. Their scanning range, I'd put in the ballpark of 15 metri. You don't expect to just beg for your life? Meaning you made a deal with the castle? Satisfaction, perhaps? You can't! Kamaravi too? Yes. And to make matters worse, Alexandria herself announced that they will come for us again. I know how you must feel, but for now we have to fight, Senna. I'll give you lily-livered. Noah? Time is of the essence. Sorry to rush, but can we get straight to the point? We can't change that fact. Just stating the facts. If we're being trite. I knew it. Colony Iota. What are you guys doing? You think that in the past you were attached to a gold-rank colony? I don't. Yes. This place? Huh? Yes. Correct. But that doesn't mean that your friends would have got the same lease on life as Mobius. I may owe Commander Izzard a great debt. The castle is the Queen's residence. What if we're found by the consuls? I knew he had stamina, but this is... The enemy's acting strangely. Something's off. Are you certain? With just a bit of borrowed time, how many more memories could I fit inside this little pocket watch? What, and you think we have time to be traipsing around on this whim of yours? Please, Your Highness, forgive our insolence. Just give it a rest. Ours very own private army. I don't think she cares about the optics of this anymore. Sir? It looks the same as the one before. We need the people of your colony to protect this place. Applying fertilizer ought to further foster their growth. That was too close for comfort. If that helps put your heart at ease. What's wrong, Mio? Uni. That was out of... Just brings me back a bit. Indeed, I checked it myself before I turned in. Everything that exists, it's all false. I never even knew it existed. Everyone's got some husks in their closet. And as for me... Sparks! What happened to a man doesn't go back on his word? Are you insane? At that moment, everything just felt so utterly hopeless that it hurt. Incidentally, I know that, but I've never seen one in such full bloom before. That was a name that used to ring out in Agnes too. A commander whose martial prowess was nigh unmatched. Huh? I see. It was revenge. It's all wasteland to the east. The heat. It'll be unbearable. How can I visit? Not at all. And not because you're planning on punching us when our backs are turned? Well, the soldiers. People aren't equally suited to everything. These soldiers are evidently one of the results. I'm sorry about Lands, but I would like to know what exactly your goal is here. Wait, did you say flame clocks? Does that make the Ferrons... It can only be...
Wrong. They need to be able to absorb the nutrition easily, so first we combine the fertilizer with some soil.
What is that noise? Because I couldn't tell you. They probably couldn't have made it any smaller. Even when we engage, the other soldiers don't provide backup. Will I see the same faces when I wake? Let's see. There should be some nearby tunnels we could use. The landslides have formed a sharp incline, in turn increasing the risk of loose rocks. You'll be the same no matter how many times you're reborn. So just to confirm, the Levnis, or whatever it is you saw, are you certain it was the same as this machine? I'll explain later. Right now we need to focus on getting out of here. Furthermore, Rosanna should be aware of the dangers that await a non-combatant on the outside. In fact, never mind. Forget I asked. Uni, am I sensing a streak of optimism? I've seen a few colonies with dwindling flame clocks before, but this one is especially bizarre. How much did Monica know? Then you spread the mixture around the roots. It's you, Mio. It was my fault. What? A consul. I knew it. Them again. Senna too. I understand. Yes, no need to get so excited. This may have been her trying to decide what kind of person to become. Fine in what sense? So that really was it? The time limit? How do we know this isn't a trap? Sure. The situation's already dire enough. It'd be best to temper our expectations. That reminds me. What's wrong? He can't get away with this. The commander is also the colony's instructor, after all. To forget fighting for a time. Ergo, it's like none of them have been given orders. Well, we don't have all day. I think it's about time we made tracks, no? Of course. I've read the tales of that battle too. But what does that have to do with all this? This is not one. Oh, that. Seems it's been there for some time. But Huh? We can't get complacent. I'll send you the map data. The end point of it is suicide. What delight! Just keep an eye on how the Mondo act. Oh, why do I bother? About the Ansel's impact on the environment. Tell them exactly how you fell into our trap. Noted. There are troops on the way coming to kill you. Yes, definitely. That sounds like a plan. So who'll go? Negotiation doesn't appear to be on the table. What? Unlike us fugitives, they're useful assets. They're still wary of us. We can't let our guard down. If you don't want to hurt others, you'll end up denying your own right to survive. Whatever the case may be, we had best hurry. Why you've told me this whole story? Oh, they were being controlled by this other console instead. Some functions may still remain hidden. Possible or not, it's what we've got to deal with right now. You dance after eating? That's pretty unusual. I think that's a great idea. Smash it, and the entire ring begins to fall apart, and the barrel collapses under its own weight. Looks like the danger's past for now. Let's keep going. I'll head back and... Example? That's it. That's all it took. Eventually, you come to the conclusion that the world may well be better off without your presence. Senna, anything to add? Though we don't understand it fully, I'm sure in time you and Ethel will find it. The right path, the right code to live by. I took part in seizing this area. And hence, my being here now. Well, you certainly turned out to be a font of knowledge. I don't regret this at all. Are you trying to say those things might be Mobius as well? If Nimue's life is represented by her dreams, then in remembering those, I carry her life with me. I meant someone who looked like you. Yeah, her. Like I said, practical. Couldn't be what? I agree with my colleague here, though I must point out that putting his head with others may have adverse effects. I think with our current level of experience, we should be able to take them on, but I'll leave the final decision to you. Tell us who you are. What colony are you from? What can you tell us about your queen? No. What does it mean exactly? Placing people's belongings here. It's not just infantry. I see Feronis wreckage strewn all over. That phrasing is very telling. Still, she is a consul. If we underestimate her, we'll no doubt be in for a world of pain. Right, well, that explains the emergency assembly. One moment. What exactly does this mean? This region is under the control of Lambda. That is the colony I originally belonged to. But, Commander! It might be wise not to linger. Now, wouldn't that be nice? Oh, come on, Noah. You'd better not be thinking of offering your assistance. And so I'm old-fashioned? Our travels? Who in the world would possibly wish for this? Has the war really spread this far? That's some impressive precision. If we hadn't met like we did in that valley, we'd be just as confused as those guys. Wait! I would suggest we go west. It won't have to fight. Absolute nonsense. Black fog. They're not mechanical. The castle isn't on particularly high alert, so it makes sense that they wouldn't arouse too much suspicion. I couldn't. All right then. Sorry to use your friend like this. According to Juniper's information, the presence of earthwormwood improves the soil's drainage. But if the consuls giving the orders are the same, it means... We're all going, I thought. I can do it. Impossible! The cold of the Highlands is no joke. It would definitely be a good idea to rest up. It's like an Ouroboros stone. Then I suppose I don't mind. You say you want to parley. How do you imagine that will go at this point? Huh? But does this mean we don't look like hostiles to everyone? Quite simple, actually. No, I don't believe so. Indeed. Valdi, what are you having Robobuddy do? What reasons? Don't chase the enemy down. Let them come to us. Remember, we're retreating too. So you have hope. You can talk to yourself all you want. We don't have the time to listen to you drone on. You've only got a little over a month left. I don't mean to burst your bubble here. Tacked on? They'll be fine. About why I'm here, yes. For now, but all this fighting really takes its toll on you. The black fog, is there much there? On what basis? Yes, that's a standard castle-issue autonomous sentry leveness. I suppose there's logic in that. You weren't scared? Well, whatever we choose to do, here's something to bear in mind. Colony Iota's commando group is made up of 4 units. Seems a bit slapdash if you ask me. But rumours have a tendency to become overblown. A similar principle may be at work here. And how do we break through it? Not exactly. I've got a bad feeling about this. Nimue! Ma'am, it doesn't give you much time to leave your mark. This is my first time seeing it in reality, but I never expected it to be so run down. For this mission, I was assigned as support for the Offseer. And I don't mind if we never find it, but I just need to know either way. So your strategy is outright distrust, then? The Iris. What just happened here? We may come across some form of evidence there. Where did the light come from? But why? Riku, did you input the coordinates? Oh, that. You don't say. That works. It was to protect the city detachment too. Nothing but empty words. That's the reason you put your men in those things. No, sir, though. Just Taion. This is just not the place or time for it. That's all. Collection, you say? The future? Really? It is a foreign country. I guessed. The Shard's changing position. Yes. I suspect they may be more deeply involved than we thought. Can you really speak for them, though? For someone nearing the end? Fine, then. If you absolutely insist. I don't know what you made of it exactly, but frankly, to me, it was a load of nonsense.
but do moderate your expectations.
Actually, my cooking just focuses more on efficient absorption of nutrients and convenient portability. How does that work? It's the smoke. Put out the fire. Stop the smoke. I know this maneuver. Don't you? Makes sense the seas would be relatively untouched. What is this? So you can take that form via a strong desire or emotion? Well, now that you ask, Noah, we'll do what needs to be done, old compatriot or not. Mio! I see. If it were in my power, I would. You were the kindest man I knew, Commander. But this pocket watch has already lived for longer than that. Any theories? Too peculiar to trust? Wasn't it Lance who was the most reluctant of us? Mio! The queens sit at the very pinnacle of the hierarchy. Before that, there's one thing I want to confirm. Who is leading the enemy? It reminded me of someone. Let's drop it. I don't want us bickering this early. There was little else we could do. Lance, the crudeness of your summaries never ceases to amaze me. Mio, that's right. He must have been, to travel with you. Maybe one of those monsters bashed a screw loose. Me too. Oh, sorry. Change of plan. These Levnesses were unmanned. It's likely they were a scouting party. But rainfall isn't always guaranteed. If you rely too much on the weather, it may come back to bite you. Honestly, I would give it about 50-50. Mio? Until now, I was afraid to take that first step. Her red iris is doing this. It's relaying our exact position to her troops. It seems you're rather troubled. Dear, oh dear. Come on now, this is getting excessive. Mobius, who made this world the way it is. So, why didn't you do it? I can express some emotions. If you moved to protect the colony, it'd put this place in the line of fire. I've got a little something in mind. You used the Pharaonis just for that? What a waste! I hardly imagine Mobius will stand idly by. What's our plan? Of course, it's my nature. If what that soldier said was true, then you're... Suspicious or not, isn't it about time you tell us this plan of yours? What matters is that it is there. You've never heard that word out loud, have you? What does... No, I'm just... No way. Indeed. I suppose you could say that us destroying the flame clock set your friends free. Whatever you say. I'd prefer level-headed, thank you. Agreed. They should be able to start on repairs now. The last time we fought, he was in a Pharaonis. So you used your friends and colony as bait. They should have decent reserves in Colony Lambda. I could never verify that supplies were being dropped, but I won't say I didn't suspect. We need to get away from here. No. Thank you. I'll try to make it quick. Noah, wait! But what if those soldiers are perceiving us as enemies? Fine. I can see no amount of reasoning is going to dissuade you. A special unit under direct Mobius command. Were we too hasty coming here? I can't fathom what this Mobius can do, but they're about to wipe out an allied colony. Yeah, they said they'd been looking for the man we fought against earlier. If you've finished being gloomy, we need to search every nook and cranny. There must be something we haven't seen. Chief! That's why you're concerned. No, Robo-Buddy clearly turned hostile and attacked us. Which is to say... No, hold on. Past there is... Hold it a moment. Seriously? Amazing. Yes. Will I even be around to see them?
Noah, how can you betray us like this?
This isn't nearly the end. Your dog tag on your... Yes, I am. They do seem thoroughly committed to ensuring our deaths, yes. The strength you talk about is all just smoke and mirrors. Say it is possible. It could be me and Lance. Huh. I see. Sorry. Wow. You tossed the soil to trap the air in it, it seems. According to Juniper, there are 3 main layers of soil. What? Huh? Obviously. But all I said was it would be nice. That sounds like a plan. That's perfect. Then could you take a look at this? Then it's settled. Let us descend. This is nonsense. What would you stand to gain from this? You? Punishment? I can't take all the credit. It's down to their superb teamwork as much as anything. We can fulfill the wish entrusted to us by the Queen. I think he might have been drawing up blueprints. We're going to play a little trick. That unfounded confidence of yours, I almost wish I could take some. How typical. I gave you my opinion. I'm sure Mio has her own thoughts on the matter. I've more or less memorized Juniper's info now. Let me know if there's anything you're unsure of. He's not like the other consuls we've met. Mio, be careful. You make it sound as if these are no ordinary Agnians. None at all. This is just hearsay from Commander Izzard. But it'll do. Enough to keep it secure, at least. Ah, it seems someone else got here first. I can't say. I'd put nothing past them. The appropriate tactic in this situation is fight first, whine later, mate. Great. This guy really is an idiot. Yeah. Wouldn't have expected similarities there. If we manage to win, putting that aside, would this be our fabled pot? Chief, I want you to fight by our side once more. And they don't normally grow in this region. There's one concern. So that was it. Those soldiers weren't ours doing at all. I'm choosing to trust you. Life's defined by moments. Your acts define you. Our colonies regard each other as enemies. Seeing motes rise into the sky serves to dispel any unease. Well, he's started now. The castles. True, but we don't have the luxury of loitering. The soldiers. Their irises glowed blood red. We'd better get ready. What's this? But what is Colony Zero to begin with? Who are you? Who are its soldiers? Spark's sake, talk about carefree. But we carry on that fight, because we have a mission. There is a certain degree of risk, as they'll have deployed a number of units. Well, someone's well read. Let's just do as he says, okay? It was like an awakening. We did hear it let the soldiers get away, but sometimes we do need rest. Our best bet is to destroy the neutralizer assembly from which it draws its power. But this is the route Ethel told us to take, no question. We soldiers are born from the Queen. We fight. I just hate leaving a job half done. I didn't expect encouragement from you. I know it's hard for you to believe us. But still, I'm telling you, we count on one another. That's how we've learned to do it. Regardless, no matter if it's a Pharaon or an as-yet unknown Levnis model, the real problem lies elsewhere. That's crazy. How can it be Ethel? I did. Uni. Sheathe your blades now. Well, you see, but that makes them targets we need to protect. Are you certain? This is Neil Valley. Sure, but see how much it cost you. It's not worth the sacrifices. I didn't say I agreed. I just see her point of view, that's all. If it comes down to it, escape options may also be in short supply. To perform forced labor. Now comes the tricky part. What do we do from here? But new recruits are terrified of him. They'd rather face a battle than his wrath. Huh? That wasn't my intention. Circumstances aside, if you've incited their wrath, then I assume we haven't heard the end of this. I don't get it. Why this specific tactic? Now wait here a minute, Uni! Mio? No, that's wrong. I simply cannot believe this. When people do die at sea, it's usually due to their Pharaonis sinking. Look, I know. Spark, why did it have to end like this? They're the enemy. Yes, sir. I promise. What? I wouldn't be too harsh. If a monster senses weakness, it can strike without warning. Do share. I wouldn't relax just yet. We might have gotten off lightly. We can't expect to just waltz in without a fight. I dread to think so. But it could be one of the diseases mentioned in the reference materials. And you think it's that easy? We're going in blind. So? Lives aren't statistics. On all of us. And the world. Ignore it. He's just provoking you. Honestly, I'm surprised you haven't gone and woken up the whole Forsaken Continent. Could be our refuge. I dare say that's the one. Oh, well then. Nothing else for it, it seems. I thought you were one to worry about the details a bit more. Perhaps it's just human nature? Perhaps it's just human nature? Ah, yes, the illustrious plan. A rare flower from the Orion Mountains, crushed and extracted. They're still fresh. The amount of pressure and problems you gave us, I'd say that's pretty promising for new recruits. That's a point. I concur. I'm sure our past victims will appreciate that. We have to make a new world. She read us like a book. Indeed. Here. If you wanted to do that, you could have done it from the start. You obviously want something. Roger that. Right? I told you there was a second half. Well, we would hate to keep you waiting. I should have known. I should have known. It's gratifying to see you acknowledge how much work I've put into it, sir. First, we need to till the soil so that the seed potatoes can take root more easily. Nimue, you know, there's a word for people like you. Times like this are when the commander shines the brightest. I hear you're using the Levnesses for some sort of survey. Care to divulge? Looks can be deceiving. They told us it has special properties, remember? But you do realize there's a chance that the larger one has been lying to us, right? I never said I was going in! Yeah, that is no ordinary flame clock. They'd have a fun time explaining that to soldiers. Huh? Busybodies, all of you. What? What is the meaning of this? It's right in the vicinity of Gamma and 9. Well, I suppose. What? What Guernica said to us on that battlefield. Supposedly it's in a remote place, not easily reachable by people. But he seems to be even more driven this time round. Nimue left with you. Thank you very much, Commander. The map showing a military installation. I must say, I'm surprised by the location. I suppose, Commander. Such is life. Yeah. I'm in favor. Well, we don't know exactly what the consul intended. It's something that Noah said once. Yes, I don't have hobbies. No one's worlds apart. They might even be able to work out we're the ones it was fighting. A Sophronia? Oh, well, we're not that. Something we can't put into words. Telamda? In that case, she could be back at any time. If possible, we should investigate the Erythia relay base. Irma was meant to be in charge of this whole region. Regardless of the precautions we take, we've a high chance of encountering them. We should consider our approach carefully. Of course. We shouldn't be hanging around here for long. Let's make for those reefs, as you called them. That light. Huh? Oh, yes. The weapon is designed to temporarily render the black fog inactive, condense and collect it, then release it in one blast. How is it? Commander, you did it. Fluff, cream and skeeter syrup dressing. Brilliant, it worked. Like how, after the consul's disappearance and the loss of the flame clock, yes, I think he's going to be an even greater help to us now. Let's get back to Valdi. He's probably getting worried. Well, I'm Taion. You're the one who taught me. That's right. And we were ambushed. That would suggest an information leak. That is, if she didn't still seem to be having second thoughts. Care to tell us why? Differences are all a matter of perspective. Gladly, yes. What, me? You can have mine. Noah, you can tell the city. Sorry, I know this is selfish. It's hard to draw out their life with a blade. As such, Mobius are probably watching out for that Veronis. And which section is in charge? It's not good if you push yourself too hard, Commander. Getting some rest is important too. Consuls, or rather Mobius, could be there too. But why show me this now? Hey, Noah! Broadly speaking, it's either east or west. Forgive me, Your Majesty. I don't think we quite heard right. However, if it turns out to be nothing, we head straight back and move on. Acceptable? No, hang on. How about here? We've got to help. Hurry, there's still time. Just don't come brandishing weapons next time we find one. How about that? Let's help them. Especially not now we seem to be sharing a common destiny, we happy few. How long do you need? I envy you. And a practical one at that. Promise us you'll turn around and go back the way you came. Even so, we didn't actually free the soldiers here, right? You reckoned. You mean that Ouroboros thing? If we're lucky, someone may have witnessed some signs of the Flame Clock's operation. I'll start from the end. I want you to see for yourself that the path I'm walking is the right one, Commander. Honestly, I couldn't care less about what he's searching for. But how? Right. Huh? A lot of the soldiers employed on that mission haven't come back yet. No one knows what became of them. Right. After all this time, it's bad luck for the people here. You two really must be bored stiff. Good grief. Mind your manners. What's this? Sometimes ignorance is bliss. That's an issue, all right. They can still surrender and be put to work again. Not just me. There are water veins in these caves. We can use them to make an escape. Yeah. It was Colony Lambda's, definitely. Yes, but why attack Colony 5? I know. I just never in my life thought I would be on the receiving end of this kind of speech. Our mission. That is a refrigeration unit. The barrel needs vast amounts of energy. Can you repair it? Oh, no. What do you mean, okay? What do you mean, okay? We're not perfect. From the survey branch. Understood. Yes. We'll just have to adapt. Well, it has to be somewhere, or the status quo wouldn't be maintained. So, what you're saying is, there are others standing against Mobius? Huh. I knew it! Yes. My pride led to her death. Seems at least they kept her safe. But now what? In other words, it makes for Earth that is best suited for potato growing. If they've already overthrown the city, why haven't we met any resistance? Noah, is this where I think it is? For the record, though, I can't say I approve of your methodology. It's strange. And then... Commander, I'm sorry, I know it's hardly a credible source. Even now, we still feel fear from moment to moment. Right back at you. What need does Commander Izzard have with Kavesi Levnesses? Ma'am! Nimue! What? The leadership want Nimue's colony wiped out? All right, but she and her people did assault colony soldiers, so taking her to a colony seems like asking for trouble. Okay, sorry, I know you're right. Look at this! Our pride and joy. The same as always. Commander, is it them? Huh? They know about this place because of that thing's flame clock. Same old Nimue. But why would you be forbidden from talking about the past? It may be to our advantage. I'll admit that, at least. Did they order you to destroy Ouroboros too? In terms of strategy, making the first move certainly would make it easier to seize the advantage. Then, I guess that leaves me with her. This was our victory. You don't need to listen to this. Nice one. That's not all, though. There might still be enemies nearby. It's a portable Agnian snack made of packed boiled myth rice. Bloody Sparks. Why do I bother? I did. I was thinking now might be a good time to see him. About that archer, they seem quite the formidable opponent, to be sure. I don't recommend getting your hopes up. And keep the Sophronias safe. Oh, for Sparks, don't know why I asked. I'll allow you to watch us while we're fighting. So they got to you too? Commander! It's my duty to be. If she attacks us before we can explain the situation, things might go badly for us. Not quite. I'd never even thought about it. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, he doesn't mind. Neither her nor us will ever be what you want us to be. It's not all that wonderful. Nimue would. It's a special place, safer than where we are at present. Indeed. It's not just soldiers that want to survive out here. You're sure to learn something. See? Pointless. Don't be so rash. Yeah, you bet. Judging by how the tracks stop here, it seems that this is where those soldiers passed through. The main force, they're drawing near. I'm getting the impression that something must have changed you. Really, it's not so bad. No good. They're coming this way too. To achieve something in the limited time left to her. I saw it! I saw her being stabbed directly through the heart! Sir, you say they were like us. But now, putting it that way, I guess it's kinda obvious, huh? What makes you think it would be you two anyway? But he's also someone I just want to help, even if I didn't owe him. This place has been safe all this time. Why is Mobius just now taking notice? If it gives us more options in battle, I'm all for it. There are also many Nopon living there. They tend to follow their own unique rules. Assuming it works. Our lifetimes run for 10 years only. When the excavation uncovered an area of concentrated deposits, the monsters that lived there must have sensed a chance. We were losing friends every day. That doesn't make it okay, but that's changed. I'm saying they might be the same as the consuls, our enemy. Looking at these guys, they don't seem under Mobius' control. They've stripped us of our powers! There's no way for us to break it! Yes, sir. What was that? Like I said, we can't afford to be hanging around here. Uninvited guests, one might say. What can one feel? Contentment, perhaps? Or sheer horror? Then I think of tomorrow and the tremors are back. I drove you to such desperation, and now you're determined to kill me! You don't have to be so cagey, Commander. No way. I'm not letting you get mixed up in all this. And if they don't act, there's no future. If you see it like that, it's not hard to understand. I'm part of operations and planning in Colony Gamma's survey branch. No. Creating debts to strengthen ties with other allied forces does open up your options, insofar as battle tactics are concerned. We want you to live true to yourself. You do? Well, did he not agree with you? They look to be surrounded. Nutty snuffer. He's really enjoying this. At least we've won ourselves an extension. It seems we can conclude that the perpetrator of the attack on the transport was a Pharaon after all. It cannot be denied that Manana's cooking has been indispensable thus far. It could be the setting she used for her aliases. Manana, you must refer to Her Highness in the proper manner. Much as I love a friendly reunion, we'll hit them where it'll hurt them the most, the consul. My name is Taion. Could it be the commander? I've seen that memory too, when interlinking with Uni. But then, there's the tall spice source as well. Does that mean he's been reborn, like Ethel? Certainly takes your breath away. Let's hope this particular Mobius is a complete fool. And who might that be then? Yes, all right. She did strike me as the vindictive type. There's a real sense of power behind this craft. There wasn't a thing I could do. I'm certain of it. You don't need to pay attention. You don't need to do anything. The rations should have been divided equally. Although, I know she doesn't have that much time left. The part about being allowed to escape, however, is mystifying. I wasn't aware of any monsters with that behavior pattern. But don't you think maybe that power's meant only for them? With this in hand, considering the state of play, they picked a good moment to withdraw. So, if that's so, then surely you must know who we are. You thought maybe you could transform as well? Understood. Start making preparations for repairs. I've got it! One without fighting, where you won't have to hide away in fear. But how can this be? How can their zone of control extend this far out? I don't get you. Well, be that as it may. First hunting, then fishing. What are we even doing here? Seriously? There really can't be a lot of soldiers left. She made Monica leave the city and tried to go outside herself too. That does feel rather odd. Well, you said the consul was away. Do you know how long for? We'd really rather not hurt you. Nimue, how kind of you. He entrusted it all to you, Noah. They're the same. They drown. Anyway, we got the best possible outcome. It's hardly a problem for us, but why the sudden request? I've known about the presence of Agnian forces in this region for a while. Right. Despite sending a report to HQ, you haven't received a word of reply. I concur. And her air of innocence is characteristic of Nopon. Given our route, we should take the safest way possible. He's so different from us. Is this what consuls look like? In fact, just forget it. Well, in an absence of obvious leads, we'll just have to gather information ourselves. Oh, you're fed up? That came from right up ahead. We've made ourselves a lure, but it's the quickest way to get south. Is this real? That's the Cloud Keep. We finally managed to activate the Ouroboros Stone. Even so, it's an enemy base. The Nopon also said it contained lots of nutrients, stimulated metabolism, promoted blood circulation. And just like that, it would appear that the bond between our respective colonies has been restored. What's important is who was piloting it. I have a question. If you're a Mobius, you could have transformed at any time, right? I think nothing Ouroboros can't handle. Act of betrayal. What's wrong, Commander? Huh? Come on, we haven't got all day. Begging your pardon, that's idiocy and certain death. So, Triton, does that remind you of anything? The Kavesi soldier was calling you Oleg. Remember, we're up against a castle. If it settles the debt I owe Nimue, I'll do it. Indeed, seems advisable. But there must have been another way. Dispatch a scouting party, or Colony 13 is a complete enigma. Our data is incomplete. This is bad. This is all going south. Uni, what is it? I'm told I have great intuition. No, I very much doubt it. No, that step comes last. She was the one who taught me strategy, who taught me how to fight using the Mondo. It's true, there are times when our fight takes a toll on us. Nimue, use this. And yet no one's here. We're fine, at least. And how do you suppose we feel? Right. I'll have you know my plan is textbook. Commander Izzard likes them. The onigiri. Ugh, why? I see. It's not like it's made of tissue. Their role is to convey the Queen's directives to the colonies, along with handling admin and decision-making. She made a choice to protect her friends, but it created distance between them. There's no reason for us to be fighting each other. Now look, I know I said he was trustworthy, but... I don't deserve this. I did hear that Colony 30's commander was the greatest mechanic in Keves. Huh? Right. To me, it sounds like a warning for something. Commander, are you okay? We're, absolutely. If you still need a life to satisfy you. All of this, it's this thing's fault. Considering how everybody attacks us on sight now. Isn't that the reason? Back when I was stationed at Lambda, I'd heard rumors about Colony Tau. Hurt others first to avoid being hurt yourself. Do you think that's logical? And he's Mobius. You're gonna go against your own kind. Back there. Could have made examples of a few people by now. It does stand to reason that's why we're their targets. But it doesn't tell us anything about why our colonies fight. I thought I was at first. The rest is history. In what way? I simply cannot believe this. Perhaps now I can give a purpose to my life. She'd live on if I were to pass her dreams on to others, right? It's unlikely to bode well for us. Ideally, we'd want to prevent it being deployed in battle. But I would surmise it started out as a kind of process for the upkeep of the world. They're drawn to the scent, are they? Ashura knows this. That's why she's accepted our terms. Conceivably. A fight? That was awful. How the spark did you forget about that? So you would entertain the risk. So we open a hatch near the Annihilator, ride the current, and we should come out right at the lake. And I've actually optimized it. Piss off, I saw. These tunnels have been disused for a long time. There's a very real risk of a cave-in. Am I wrong?
You'd like us to keep Nimwe's colony safe? Better hurry. Interesting. So now I suppose you want us to start digging? Well, of course not. Considering we're meant to be your enemy, I'm not sure help is the right word. One would usually expect them to reside in their natural habitat, above the Great Cot Falls. Oh, go on. We don't even know if they're really our allies yet. Deep in the forest, there's a colony with some very peculiar customs and traditions. Surely that's not... Speaking of, back then, that fight belongs to you. Let's move. The fact that we killed consuls must be old news at this point. Oddly, he was strikingly similar to our own consul. How can I possibly choose? But didn't you insinuate Colony Lambda hasn't always been stationed here? Senna, wait. This time around, we'd like to sit in on the conversation too. Promise me that you'll protect this place. One defining moment was what she chose. What? But I made you use the same enemy tactic that cost Nimue her life! I never knew you two had such a connection. Incredible. We still have very little information. I think a more thorough investigation is in order. Uni? The fewer centuries, the better for us. But who are they fighting? Oh! What reports? Is my life that entertaining to you? You can call yourself elite all you want. Oh, what is this? So then, both us and the world? Noah, that's the auto-balancer. I asked you what you said. You think I'm scared, is that it? Motherland. Can you explain that word, please? And even then, I'm not confident I'd guess right. But that's suicide! You think? You can't remember? What are we supposed to do with that? Ah. Were there any complications? So it all went down according to your calculations? Understood. I envy you, I really do. It's almost... What? Whatever R's plan is, if we're forced into a war of attrition, we stand absolutely no chance. He's taken him over! I refuse to be controlled by you! I can't believe this. Someone shoot me. I've heard. Look, though it was unmanned, it's sure to have transmitted its combat data to the colony. Right, okay. On an emotional level, I could understand. What was? Better than the consul. Trust me on that. All the soldiers left in the colony are newbies, with no combat experience. Well, for us it's indispensable, but to others it may not seem that way. Well, this could turn out to be nothing. You thought if we were strong enough to deal with you all, we could stand up to the consul too. The area to the west is under Agnes's control. First, we'll need to take the elevator that can get us up to that floor. It gives a sense of security, lets you think your dead friends are looking out for you from above. The damage seems to spread from the lesions here, on the route. They bear resemblance to the black rot. So they're the ones who have incited the latest uproar, I take it.
You roasted some cheap bait there. That's not like you.
Noah? So I guess you have another key. All right. I had accounted for this, but these numbers... Is that because we haven't earned your trust? Indeed. But the way it is designed, if you think about it, it just works. That too. In we go.